It is with great pride and confidence that we see the fight in Miami. In order to allow maximum visibility for Beterbiev to demonstrate that he can perform anywhere in the world, and also as the only aspirant who agreed to face Artur, Sullivan Barrera, could not cross the Canadian border, we had promised that this fight would take place in the United States. We are convinced that many Quebecers who are still in Florida at the time will come out to support the person who has made Quebec a land of adoption for him and his young family. Those are the words of Yvon Michel, who is the promoter of light heavyweight contender Artur Beterbiev, ahead of his fight against Sullivan Barrera, which will take place on April 21st. And as you heard there in the quote from Yvon Michel, the fight will take place in Miami. Sullivan Barrera is unable to fight in Canada, where Artur Beterbiev has been based for the majority of his professional career. Those of you who are unfamiliar with maybe Cuban boxing, so on and so forth, the Cuban diaspora in the United States, for those of you who are unfamiliar with that, Miami is, I believe, the place with the largest Cuban population in the United States. So it will basically be Sullivan Barrera fighting at home, essentially. You know, there's no professional boxing in Cuba, obviously, but it's the next best thing to him actually fighting in Cuba is fighting in Miami. So Beterbiev will be going into hostile territory, going to the other guy's backyard, essentially, which should be interesting. I'm going to quote Beterbiev here. He has a few words to say about it. He said, "The bout has been scheduled for April 21st, 2017 in Miami. I know that my opponent lives and trains in Miami, such that the area will be crammed full of his fellow compatriots for the most important fight in my professional career to date. However, this does not bother me at all, because I firmly believe that a real sportsman who wishes to reach the top must be ready to fight in any environment and in any conditions. I am taking this opportunity to thank Sullivan again for having the last word at the critical stage in arranging our bout. I consider the fight against him as another step to achieve the main goal in my professional career. I look forward to this fight." So those are the words of Artur Beterbiev. Now, Beterbiev was a highly decorated, extremely experienced international amateur, so he will be very accustomed to fighting abroad, away from home. I'm not sure how he will respond necessarily to the heat in Miami. That may be one thing. In April, I can't imagine it's going to be too hot, but it's still going to be fairly warm. Some fighters enjoy fighting in a warm climate. Other fighters don't. Beterbiev I believe it's from Chechnya in Russia. I can imagine that's a pretty cold climate. And in Canada, where he's based as a professional, it's also pretty cold. So will the temperature have any effect on him? I'm not sure exactly what the temperature is in Miami, but in April, but I assume it's similar to how it is in the Caribbean, which is, you know, a steady in the 20s, high 20s Celsius, maybe by around April. So it would be fairly warm. I mean, it's all relative. It just depends what you're used to. But other than the climate, nothing about this situation should bother Beterbiev. As I say, highly experienced, decorated amateur. And he's bigging up Sullivan Barrera for accepting the challenge. This fight will be, I believe, a final eliminator for the, I think it's for the IBF. Yeah, it's for the IBF light heavyweight world title. So yeah, Sullivan Barrera had a good win in his last fight. He obviously lost to Andre Ward. So he's serious about his career, Sullivan Barrera. He's taking on people that a lot of other light heavyweight contenders and even champions, you know, certain champions anyway, are not too keen on getting in the ring with. So big up to Sullivan Barrera, big up to Beterbiev. I'm definitely looking forward to this fight. Let me know what you think in the comment section below, people. Will the fight taking place in Miami have any bearing on the result at all? Will the climate, the heat, bother Beterbiev possibly, or not at all? And who do you think will win the fight? How do you think the fight will play out? Some people believe this is going to be a blowout for Artur Beterbiev. I'll be surprised if it is. I'm expecting Beterbiev to win, but I don't think it's going to be a blowout. I think this is going to be quite a tough fight for him. And to me, definitely the toughest test so far in his professional career. So yeah, let me know what you think in the comment section below. It's Simon, I'm out.